When the first Americans crossed the land bridge from Siberia and worked their way to Virginia some 11,000 years ago, the wily old turkey had already been here for a couple of million years. Generations have hunted this unusual-looking bird for food and clothing. Today, many people enjoy the challenge of just getting close enough to watch this colorful bird, and hunters continue to track the turkey. Above all, the wild turkey remains a symbol of wildness. Let's take a look outside with some middle school students from Lynchburg and see what happens when people wandered into the turkey's woods.
My name's Dustin. I go to Lynchburg Christian Academy and I'm in the 8th grade.
My name's Bryce. I'm in the 8th grade and go to Forest Middle School.
My name's Austin. I'm in 7th grade and I go to Bedford Middle School.
My name's Abby and I'm in the 8th grade and I go to Bedford Middle School.
My name's Kyle. I go to Lynchburg Christian Academy and I'm in the 8th grade.
My name is James and I go to Forest Middle School and I'm in 7th grade.
Let's start at the beginning, Jamestown, and see how turkeys were treated by the colonists and the Indians.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to Jamestown Settlement, and welcome to our recreation of the Powhatan Village out here today. I'm one of the interpreters that deals with the way of life of the Powhatan people, tries to recreate it for the public. And I understand that today you're coming to visit us especially to learn about the use of the wild turkey among the Powhatan people. So I pulled out a few artifacts, a few recreated items that the Powhatan people might use. And the best place probably to start to think about the use of the turkey would be the turkey itself. Don't have a whole bird out here, but we do have one of the most important parts of it. Any idea how we could use the wings in the Powhatan world? A fan. Now, of course, in the modern world, in Virginia, nice hot climate, a fan like that's going to be an important thing, right? More importantly, if you look over to our left, we have a dugout canoe that some folks are helpfully carving out charcoal from. If you're burning out a dugout canoe, turning that wood into charcoal, you need a fan to control the fire. What's that fan made from? Half a wing, this portion, the wild turkey's wing, set into a wooden handle.
Native Americans used the turkey for more than just food. Tail feathers became fletching to help their arrows fly straight, while the spur on the leg of the turkey provided the arrow's sharp point. Bones from the wing and the legs of the turkey were used to make necklaces and earrings, and feathers were worn in the hair. Even the beard of the turkey was used to dress up a tomahawk.
While we don't know what the turkey beard, the beard from the neck of the turkey, symbolized to the Powhatan warrior, we do have a drawing from the 1690s showing a beard such as this attached to a club or tomahawk similar to this one.
The wild turkey provided so much that it became an invaluable part of the Indians' culture.
So ornamentation, food, weaponry, we can make tools out of the long leg bones, ornamentation from the claws, feathers for capes, feathers for fletching on the arrows. The whole major natural resource right there with the turkey.
Were they important to the colonists?
Now, what did the Jamestown colonists think of the wild turkey?
They were a food source, but they were probably not as important as the hogs that the English bring with them and the chickens that they bring with them. Now, they'll find turkeys here, and they know that turkeys are a food source, and so they'll be, especially in the time period when we have difficult time obtaining food, they'll probably find it. But the hogs and the chickens were probably more important.
The next stop on our turkey tour is the Virginia Governor's Mansion, where history repeats itself each year. Every year for the past 400 years, the Native Americans in Virginia have presented wild turkeys and deer as ceremonial payment of taxes.
Turkey was important not only as food, as very obvious. My bonnet that you see I'm wearing today is made out of turkey feathers that were dyed. So they were used, every piece of the turkey was used as the best it could. The feet were used as ornaments for necklaces and that sort of thing. So the turkey as a staple for the Indians was very important back in colonial times, and still is today.
The wild turkey was so desirable as a food source as the nation moved west that they were nearly driven to extinction. It was partially because of this that conservation agencies were established to help manage animals like the wild turkey. The Virginia Department of Game and Inland Fisheries was formed in 1916 at a time when turkeys in Virginia were almost gone. Today, young turkeys can again be seen in Virginia's woods, a sign that the wild turkey population is at an all-time high. Thanks to the efforts of people like turkey biologist Gary Norman. Part of Gary's job is to trap turkeys to study them. Today, the students have returned to the hills of Lynchburg to help. How do we catch turkeys? With rockets, of course.
All right, fellas, what we're going to be doing here is loading up these rockets. This is what's going to carry our net over the birds. Here, get this side. Side full. Good job. We're going to put them on top of this rocket box. Okay, here, the net is packed in here, and we have these 3 lead lines, and we'll attach the corners of the net to the rockets, okay?
Okay.
All we have to do now is hook up the wiring, camouflage the box, and we're ready.
Okay.
So everybody step out of the way now, back out of the way.
The morning was bright, but very cold as the students waited patiently for the turkeys to come to the bait. We have to wait until most all of the birds are in the right place and their heads are down so the flying net won't injure them.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ow! Pretty loud. That made me jump.
Gary and fellow biologist Jay Jeffries worked quickly to gather up the flopping birds and put them in boxes. The box birds will be much calmer. What's it like to hold a real live wild turkey?
They stink.
Okay. You ready to grab hold here?
Not really.
Not really?
I don't think I can hold it.
I have every confidence in your abilities here. She weighs about 10 pounds. You look like you weigh about 70 pounds, 80 pounds, 90 pounds?
Somewhere in there.
Am I getting close? All right, put your hand right there, grab tight. Tell you what, do it with your left hand there on the legs, and with the right hand, reach across. There you go. Nice and tight. Good job.
What's in my pocket?
You got her?
Yeah. I think so.
All right. Good job. Excellent. Way to go, girl.
It's a little bit heavy.
Let's bring her over and put her in the box. All right. Well. All right, you held on. Good.
It's only a short ride to the release site, a hilltop overlooking premium turkey habitat, where we can talk turkey.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about this bird here. We haven't been able to trap today. What do we know about wild turkeys? They're birds, right? Feathers. Feathers are replaced each year. Believe it or not, the turkey completely molts every feather. They do it in a particular pattern, and we're able to determine the age of the bird by this molt pattern. In the barring, the white stripes will go all the way to the end on an adult bird, whereas in a juvenile bird, it'll be black tipped at the end. So that's one of the easy things you can look at to tell the age of a turkey. Turkeys have great vision. They can see exceptional distances and determine things very quickly in terms of movement. What about their hearing? Do you think they can hear very good?
Yeah.
See this little feather right there behind the bird's eye? Right there? That's covering up an ear hole right there. If you pull that feather back, you can see a hole that goes in the bird's head right there, and that's the opening for their ear canal.
After we study each bird, it's released to fly back into the wild.
There she goes.
What does a turkey eat in the wild? Pecking and scratching on the ground, they take acorns, a variety of seeds, and many insects.
How many feathers does a turkey have?
There are more than 6,000 feathers on any given turkey, and the feathers are real important for the birds. They obviously serve as an insulation in winter, but in addition to insulation, they also help birds in terms of escape from predators and being able to fly. But we've been able to put transmitters on birds and track them. It's another reason why we capture birds. We found through some studies with transmitters on turkeys that that hunting is a very minor component in terms of the causes of death in turkeys. Typically, you're looking at foxes, bobcats, and owls being the primary predators of turkeys. This is why they have excellent eyesight and typically are very wary. It's because of all of the natural predation that they're subject to.
Okay, anytime you're ready.
Quick release.
It wing hit me in the shoulder. Oh, that's a powerful bird. Oh my god. Look at his
She's still dripping.
Ooh. Appreciate everybody coming today. We're going to talk a little bit about
What can a feather tell you? Hunters that harvest turkeys in the fall turn in feathers from each bird they take. In the classroom, we see what scientists learn from these feathers. You've heard of a quilting bee. This is what biologists call a wing bee. The data gathered from these feathers will tell scientists how well the turkeys are doing. This population index will help set next year's hunting seasons.
You notice any difference in these two feathers?
One of them's black and the other one's all has white stripes on them.
Excellent. See this black end on the feather and the very sharp point? This is a juvenile feather in contrast to this feather here that has white barring all the way out to the end. So that's how we're going to determine the age of the bird first, okay? The other thing we'll look at will be breast feathers. These breast feathers offer us a key to determining the sex of the turkey. What do we notice here in the difference between these two feather samples?
One of them is brown and one of them is black tipped, and the black one has a straighter edge.
This black one here is very sharp edge, exactly right. And this is a male bird. They're typically darker in coloration, whereas this bird here is more brown or buff colored on the very tips of the feathers. This is a female, okay? So between the breast feathers and the wing feathers, we'll be able to determine age and sex for all these birds that are checked at check stations.
Okay, I think it's an older animal because it's not as pointed and the stripes go all the way to the end.
Excellent. So that one would be an adult.
Okay.
And what do you think you have for the breast feathers?
And then it's black tipped and very sharp edge, so I think that'd be a male.
Excellent. Go ahead and mark that down on your feather envelope there.
Okay.
That's like an adult and a juvenile. It's black tipped.
An adult juvenile?
I mean,
You trying to trick me?
no, I mean a juvenile, a male juvenile.
Excellent, excellent. You have a pointed one with the black tip,
Yes,
and,
one with
and
the black tip, and then this one with the
very
black
sharp, and also
sharp
black
edge.
tipped on the end. Good job. Go ahead and mark yours down.
I have,
Barring out to the end.
yeah, adult, and that's male.
Very good. Go ahead and mark it down there.
It's the feathers,
Excellent.
black and shiny.
Exactly right.
Juvenile because the bong's not go all the way to the end.
This is also a juvenile male because it's black right on the tip of the breast feather.
Tip on this is very sharp.
Well, I've determined that you guys are all excellent candidates to be wildlife biologists in the future.
How much
Excellent job.
How much did that make?
You don't want to know.
Turkey hunting is a popular activity for outdoorsmen and women, and even though every year hunters harvest many birds, the turkey population in Virginia is still growing. One of our budding turkey biologists, Kyle, wanted to try his luck at turkey hunting so he could provide the group with a Thanksgiving dinner. Those who hunt the spring gobbler season say it's one of the most challenging and rewarding experiences in the hunting world. One has to know this extremely wary bird. The hunter must remain unseen and silent, except for the calls he uses to lure the turkey. Expert turkey hunter and wildlife biologist Jay Jeffries went along to give Kyle a first-hand lesson in turkey calling. A distant reply to Jay's call, and the gobbler is on the way and closing fast.
Good job. Wow. Nice bird. Nice adult gobbler.
I didn't think I was going to get a shot because that tree limb was in the way.
Yeah.
So I just had to aim a little bit lower.
You did very, very good. I'm proud of you.
In a scene as old as time, Jay and Kyle walk out of the woods, bringing home the ingredients for a fine turkey dinner. The students' adventure with Virginia's wild turkey ends at a fine table set for friends and family, and Kyle's turkey, in the tradition of the settlers at Jamestown, is the main course.
Y'all ready to eat? Yeah.
I'm Austin, and my favorite part was letting the turkeys go after we caught them. And what I learned today is that turkeys are very wary creatures.
My favorite thing was getting to hold the turkey, and what I learned was how to test how old a turkey is.
I'm having fun.
I'm Dustin, and what I learned today was that turkeys hurt when you're holding them, when they flop around, and my favorite part was shooting the net cannon because I got to fire it.
Thank you. Oh, yes.
My name is Kyle, and my favorite thing was letting the turkeys go after we caught them. And what I learned today was how to determine the age of a turkey.
But that's a lesson for next time.
Appendage comes off the leg. It helps with, we think, probably defense for